So welcome everybody to this new edition of Doc and Talk here at Kühne Logistics University, where we speak with personalities, people who have something to say about leadership and logistics, supply chain management. So today we have the honor to have with us Ashwin Bhat, CEO of Lufthansa Cargo. Welcome to KLU.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here and talking to you and with all the colleagues over here.
Actually, I should have said welcome back, because you have already been here a couple of years back to do the commencement speak for one of our graduations. So welcome back.
So I think I did a good job. That's why I've been invited again.
I guess so. No, it's true. So to tell a little bit of your story, you started at, let me just see, Airline Financial Support Services in India. Then you went on to Swiss Cargo, and at some point you became the CEO of Swiss Cargo, and then since April 2023 you are now the CEO of Lufthansa Cargo. Lufthansa Cargo, one of the biggest cargo airlines, approximately 4,000 employees and 3 billion euros in revenues. But you studied actually chemistry at the University of Mumbai. So that would be my first question. How did you end up in the airline business, studying chemistry?
I call it fate. Sometimes you study something, you have ambition to become, or thinking you will become something, and you start. So for me, there was no plan of actually going into the airline business, and least of it what was air cargo or logistics. I had no idea about that when I grew up. If I just take a little bit of a step aside, in 1992, Swiss Air at that time decided to do a back office in India. So they moved the cargo business, because it's a smaller business, to India to do the back office, and which was data capturing. So I was the first initial 10 people to be selected to do data capturing in a back office. And it was a completely new concept of back office, of outsourcing it to India. And that's where I started, did data capturing for nothing to do with chemistry, but I have had a privilege and a privileged journey since then. Every 3 years I have new functions, new responsibilities. Air cargo is challenging and exciting. It's always an adventure.
Yeah, but that would be my next question. So you, by accident from chemistry to logistics to air cargo, but you seem to like it because you did all your career until now in this line of business. So what's so exciting about logistics, about air cargo?
Everything is a new day. Air cargo gets impacted by every macroeconomic, every political, every crisis which is there, and everybody wants to have a solution of transportation and it's a global business. You are working with people, and that's what keeps me energized, to meet different cultures, different businesses, to find solutions to the problems which we are faced with.
So if you had to just tell us one of your work weeks.
Of
your work week. What did you do this week? Exciting.
This week,
obviously
week. I'm in front of you, so this is the most exciting thing I did for this week. No, let's take, today is Wednesday. I had this coming over here to speak to you. Yesterday was my global town hall after the Q3 results, with my global team doing a town hall. Monday was board meeting, and in a board meeting you talk from implementation of AI, new technology, to new contracts you want to do, to HR topics, and usually that's my week. It's never the same. Later in this month I will be in 1 week I will be in Hong Kong, Shenzhen and Shanghai, fly back to Frankfurt, Monday fly to Dakar. And that's usually the week. And sometimes it's in the office, sometimes all over the world.
Okay, and today here?
Today in Hamburg.
In Hamburg, okay. Because you're based in Frankfurt, obviously. Okay, so if you had to, because you have a lot of young people here, they are all interested in logistics, but there's also young people out there who don't even know what logistics is. And when they hear it, it's always kind of, logistics, unattractive, boring, container ships. So your pitch to convince somebody that logistics is actually the place to be.
For me, I'm part of logistics, just doing one part of logistics, which is air cargo. But in general, I usually tell kids is I transport happiness. Christmas, Santa, I'm a helper for Santa. That's how you tell the kids. Transportation of your iPhones, transportation of pharmaceuticals, transportation of semicon. You ask always the generation, that's what, why, and what is the purpose. And that's what I highlight nowadays is the purpose and the mission of Lufthansa Cargo, which is enabling global business. We are part of global business. We are part of globalization. Everything that we have, air cargo logistics is part of, from your mobile phone to your shoes to your jeans and everything, and keeping you healthy. And also Valentine's Day, we bring you roses. That's why I say we are talking about happiness. It's about health, and that's where it is all about.
Transporting happiness. I like that a lot. Globalization. You just talked about it. Has that changed, or is it changing? I mean, I'm talking about US and what's happening there. Is globalization?
There are two schools which is there. Where one school is saying globalization has reached its peak, and now it's downturn. I come from the other school where I say globalization is not dead; it is changing, and it is changing in front of our eyes. How trade is shifting. It's truly a Barney world. Sometimes we have no idea what's happening. Just to give you an example, Trans-Pacific between China and US is down by 40%, 45%, and you would think, oh, that's it. But it's just shifted from Asia to Europe. Production has shifted from China to other Southeast Asian countries, and the production has increased from these countries. So overall, if you look at global trade, it's even more than what it was in the past. It's just that the origin and destinations have shifted. And that's what trade is there for the last hundreds and thousands of years. And it's like water, I call it. It will find its way. So globalization, for me, optimistically looking at it, that's what my business is. Globalization is not dead. It's just changing. And you need to have that agility to find what is happening. You need to be very close to the market with your customers to understand if North Africa is booming or South America is booming or Southeast Asia is booming, and that's how it is. So for me, it's globalization is changing big time, and it will continue to change.
So it's not ending, but it's just changing in the countries where
it's not
taking
just
place.
The countries, if I may add, it's also the type of commodity.
Okay.
If you put a couple of years back, at least I didn't know about what was e-commerce. Yes, e-commerce is what you buy over electronically or whatever. But the way it has improved or increased over the last years is phenomenal. This year is a new commodity which is flying, is server racks. For all the cloud computing which is happening, we are transporting a huge amount of semiconductor commodities, server racks which is getting transported. We see a demand for different type of pharmaceutical transportation. You see electrical vehicles which is coming, so part of electrical vehicle which we are transporting, and those are the things which is keeping us excited about what solutions we can offer, because it's all about offering solutions to the global trade.
So countries are changing, products are changing. Are the expectations or demands from clients changing?
Yes,
And how?
It is changing. It's in terms of the service quality. They want to have, because the world is unstable at this moment of time. What they are looking for from us, and we are proud as Lufthansa Cargo, we give reliability. Even in an unstable situation, we give reliability. We give a quality solution. That's what they are looking for. Sometimes price plays a role, but solution is bigger. What they are looking for is partners who offer them solutions to the problems.
Okay, so for you at the moment, there's instability, obviously. The economy is not doing great, but still, you would say the price is less important for the clients.
Depends on the type of commodity. On certain types, it is a price game, clearly. But for certain high-end product, price is not. It is more about solutions. It's about services which they are looking for. And that's what you have to look as an organization. Where do you want to, which segment you want to play with? And I say you have to play in all the segments because given the size of Lufthansa Cargo with 22 freighters, which is 50% of our capacity, and the other 50% is the belly capacity of all the group airlines. You have to segment yourself from valuables to general cargo. Everything in between you have to do. I call it from 1 kilo to 100 tons. We can take care of you.
Okay. Did you ever think of changing your career? I read you wanted. I mean, that obvious. I guess as a kid you wanted to become a film director.
Yeah, I wanted to be a Bollywood film director when I was growing up. I studied chemistry and now air cargo. But I jokingly say air cargo is like Bollywood. There is drama, there is action, and the customers make me run around the trees as well.
So. But might that be the future career? No, but that's as a kid. But has there been like at some point you said, okay, this is I want to do something else. I can't. No, never. So it's genuinely you like the industry, you like your job, you like the path.
It was never about air cargo. Every 3 years, when I was growing up in my career, every 3 years there was a new job, from operations to revenue management to sales to training and as long as you are learning every day and you're working with a great colleagues around you, you're working for a great company. I was happy. So. You could say I didn't have a market maybe, but no, I never thought about changing at all.
What I feel is that you're a very optimistic person, and I also read in an interview of you that you had the best or the business lesson you learned the hard way was that you have to hire optimistic persons. That's what you said. So first of all, why hiring optimistic persons? So what's the logic behind it, and why did you learn it the hard way? That's even.
So why do I look for optimistic people? I know what the problems are in the world. I can read the newspapers. So if I'm surrounding myself with people who come and tell me about only problems, what should I do with it? I need people who tell me what is the problem, and on the other side is also telling me this is the solution which is there. And the stage which I am in, I'm talking about leadership. So whoever is working for me is on a leadership level. And one of the saying which I took it from somebody else, leadership is all about inhaling frustration and exhaling excitement. Because if you are standing in front of a team, who would like to follow a leader who says, yeah, the world is bad, we have a problem. Or you say, yeah, we have a problem. Okay, now collectively, let's find a solution to that, because tomorrow is going to be better. We have to make it better. It won't be better just on its own. We have to make it better. And that's what I'm saying is leadership around me. I need optimistic people because we have to find solution, because I have 4,000 other colleagues who are looking up to me with a Barney world or with an uncertain world around us. And that's where it is. And I know myself, I lose energy if you come only talking about problems. And just to add on to this, as Lufthansa Cargo, we have even created 5 leadership behaviors. So we have 5 leadership behaviors which we are pushing through. And I was not a big fan of gamification, but now we have converted this 5 of the behaviors into a gamification. And one of them is called Elmo. So if you go to Lufthansa Cargo meeting rooms and everything, you will see Elmos all from Sesame Street, Elmo everywhere, which stands for enough, let's move on. Don't come and repeat the same topic again and again. Let's move on. And everybody has a right to Elmo, including me, if I repeat the same problems and topics again and again. To talk about optimism, we have ETs around the business room, meeting rooms. ET stands for entrepreneurial thinking. And the saying below is, Don't come with problems and excuses. Let's talk solutions. Uh, there is DICE, the game DICE, which stands for disagree, commit, and execute. And those are the things which we believe as behaviors which is required to manage the world which we are living in. And the hard story of what it is, I found out from an organization perspective, it is really important to have optimistic leaders. If you want to manage after COVID, where this uncertainty has increased, you really require optimistic. I'm not talking fake optimism. I also get worried about things and everything. I'm not talking about, let's get positive. No, it's to say, yes, we have the brand, we have the people, we have the knowledge, expertise, whatever, and then let's try to find the solution.
When you're frustrated, which might happen at some point, where are you going? Are you going to your boss? Are you talking with your family? Where are you leaving your frustration?
With my team.
With your team. So you're very transparent.
Colleagues. I'm very transparent. One of them is here somewhere.
Well, he's working downstairs actually.
So no, I openly discuss it with my team. It doesn't help just to hold it inside you. You need to have trustful colleagues. So trust is the basis of everything. And the second flip side is you can come to my room and there is a Bollywood song running in my office all the time, and that's my go-to thing. Switch on my Bollywood songs and it's all good. Okay. Ready for the next problem.
Okay, yeah. I feel that's interesting. I'm not sure if many leaders would leave talk the frustration with their teams through, but
yeah, because they are part of the
of the solution also. Yeah.
But that's my support system.
Yeah. No, but okay. Very. So we all read in the press that Lufthansa has to cut jobs in the next couple of years. So that's obviously source of lots of frustration. So how do you deal with that? Also transparency, total transparency.
Yeah. Yesterday was the town hall, and there were questions about it, and we have to do it in a very transparent way. But it's not about reduction for the sake of reduction. It is with all the technology which is coming, which is the AI which is going to come, and thing which can be simplified. I think there are possibilities to do that, and that's how we will be looking into it.
With the AI thing, what I feel that like a couple of years ago or until a couple of months ago, the communication from everybody, all the companies, was always, well, AI is coming, but don't worry, it's not really replacing your job, it's just enhancing your job, you're going to do different things. But what we're seeing right now is that actually it is replacing jobs. So what's your view on that? Is it is communication switching? Is it replacing jobs?
For me, it is two-sided. One, let's take the first part. We have a lot of jobs open, but I don't even get the people. Okay. I give you one example. So in air cargo, the last stage of after selling and everything before you put onto an aircraft is to build up the pallets, because these are small boxes. So you don't put one boxes into a 100-ton freighter. You build up pallets. To build up pallets in a certain size that it fits into the freighter, you require expertise, people, experts who can build this, palletizers. We call them palletizers. Nobody wants to work in palletizing, because you have to lift, you have to bend, you have to work in a non-air conditioned room, in a warehouse. You're not getting it. So what is the solution? You can't throw just money and get people. You require years of experience. So we are using technology for that. So what we have done is we have created AI tools, and in the area of palletizing, we have 3 screens, and it's a game. You can actually put a box and it tells you how to build it up. So even if you have 5 years of experience and you know how to build it up, technology is telling you exactly how to build it up. You don't have to guess, it will fit, not fit, and so on. It's actually, what is that game, Tetris? where it shows you put the boxes and this is how. That's number one technology. The second is within the warehouse, given the size of a warehouse, you need to take cargo from one end to another. You require drivers to drive the cars. You're not getting people. So now we have autonomous vehicles. We are testing within the warehouse where driverless cars are taking boxes and pallets across the floor. That's where you use technology for. So it's not about replacing you. When you don't get people, what do? You have to run the business, so you use technology for that. The other area where we use is in offices. We hire young, smart people to work for us. But even in the year 2025, 30-40% of my business bookings where customers are making a request to us comes via emails, comes via phone. So I hire young, smart, talented people who are actually doing as booking agent, just taking in requests. So what we have created is AI, generative, it's learning on its own, a button in our email, which you click, and that email is converted into booking data in 2 seconds. So that the time for the people then is to talk about solutions. And then there is going to be the churn of people are going to retire and everything. And then you look at it, whether you want to replace or whatever. So we are not doing it actively per se, but you have to get ready for the generation change. You know it, I know it. It's going to come over the next 3 to 4 years. Where there is going to be shortage of people, so get ready for that.
Shortage of people, but because there's not the right skill sets they have. So what would you tell them how to prepare best for the job market? And if you hire somebody, what are you looking for in what should they put on their motivation letter and on their CV?
If you come to me, the first thing I look is your attitude. Whether you have the attitude to learn, unlearn, and then relearn. Because that's the whole thing. If you don't have the capabilities of unlearning and relearning yourself, it's going to be very difficult, because every time it's changing so fast. Having that attitude of working across borders, I call it working across borders and cultures. It's going to be, because majority in air cargo or logistics, the big businesses out of Asia, irrespective whether you sit in Germany or you sit in Africa, you need to work with a different culture. So having that attitude, optimism in terms of what's happening, cannot get pessimistic about. Have that attitude to find solutions. So that would be obviously, which will help, is your education of how did you have that education and so on. But look at me, chemistry to what I'm doing. So you can learn, but you will go into a different direction, and you have to be open about it. And for me, that's the more important thing.
And whenever you choose somebody working for you, or you're in an interview, you're a guts person, like you know it immediately.
Guts person.
Guts person. Do you read the CV before you? No.
I have to say no. I obviously I read.
I guess that somebody else reads
for you.
No,
I read it. I read it, and I go through it, obviously. But the question goes. But what I do is not a classical in the sense of just one interview. I send everybody for 5 different interviews. So you have to talk to your peers, you have to talk to your staff, you have to talk to different people, and then I take the opinion of the different people. So it's not, I look at the CV and I think you're the greatest person. Could be. But then you talk to 5 people, I take the opinion of 5 people and then say, okay, does it fit into a culture? Is this the kind of attitude we want?
And if you have a candidate whom you really like, and then your team members say, what's your decision? Or is it different? Or you always follow the team?
No, it's a discussion. Okay. And I'm open, I could be wrong.
Yeah, okay. So you have a long experience, obviously, in Germany. You're from India. So also here the question, because we have lots of Indian students also, what would be your advice for the Indian student who wants to find a job here in Germany to really make a professional career, and obviously vice versa? What would you tell the Germans if they want to work in India?
Just be open. Just be open and learn. Nobody is. It's people are different. I am different to you. With your background, my background is different. Respect each other, and you will find your way. Respect is the most important, according to me. And I'm not faking it about respect and everything, but understand why you're behaving in a certain way, why this person is, and hopefully you will find a common way. The values are very, very important of an organization, of people. So for me, working across border is going to be so important for the next generation. My daughter is 15 and my son is 12. Yes, I push for their Zeugnis, how much do they, what marks do they get for subjects, but the first thing I see is their social behavior in the class. How are they working with others? How are they working with their teachers? That's going to be very, very important going forward. That's my opinion. Don't tell my children, please.
They might
because I'm
find out.
pushing them for the results. That's clear. But that's for me is quite frankly, this is a very. I have to think. I never actually made an active effort to say, oh, I'm an Indian, now let me behave in a Swiss way in Switzerland, because I lived 20 years in Zurich and now 4 years in Germany, so let me behave like I've always been true to myself and behave the way I behaved. You adapt according to the culture, you follow the rules of the country which you're living and the culture you're living, no doubt about it. But authenticity, which everybody talks about, that's what it is.
So what's the difference between the Germans and the Swiss, according to you, in terms
how
of
much
culture?
time do you have?
Not that much, but
Both are, because this is one of the most requested question, which is better and what is different. I say just it's two different countries.
that's an easy answer.
And they're very diplomatic as
And
well.
they're very diplomatic, which is totally legit. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability, because Lufthansa Cargo, and I think yourself, you're very much into sustainability and the sustainable evolution of air cargo. So with sustainable aviation fuel, when do you think this is a really valid solution? I mean, for the moment it's happening, but it's obviously more expensive. So when according to you, what's a good time frame?
For me, sustainability is a big topic. The people who want to join Lufthansa Cargo or any company is looking for a company which is ethical, is doing good to the society and sustainable. In every, like yesterday's town hall or any discussions I have with the colleagues, sustainability is what are we doing? It's not just related to SAF, but in general, what are we doing? And I think the biggest lever for an airline is new planes. That's 99% that's how it works. And we have at least our freighters average is 7.5 years or 7.6 years. So it's relatively live. So we are working on SAF. Obviously, it's not there. You read it in the press, but we have to be also open. When people see everybody wants SAF, but when they see the cost, no. The answer is no. So it's an effort which is there, but it's going to come. Technology, regulations will force us to do it, and it's going to come. So we are putting all our efforts to have dialogue with our customers, customers having dialogue with their end customers to talk about sustainable. But having said that, we are also looking at other things. What type of plastics we use to cover our pallets, or the woods which we use, putting solar panel above our warehouse, and so on. So sustainability is a big topic. If I want to attract talent, I would say this room. They are going to look at sustainability and what are we going to do about that in this organization.
I agree with that. But do you see, like in terms of companies, your clients, that there is a decrease in the interest in sustainability because of economy and what's happening? Or is
I wouldn't say interest, but at a certain point, the economies become a blocker. But everybody has the intention, the good intention to make it happen, and we have to find ways to make it It's not just about the cost of the fuel, it's also the cost of, let's say, how much, what are the benefits you're getting, the certificates, the quality of the certificates and everything. So economies is the blocker, it's not the intention.
So this is kind of making aviation more sustainable. Do you sometimes, or is there a discussion at Lufthansa Cargo and you looking at your clients? If the client, I'm thinking, for example, of fast fashion, could you say that not a sustainable company, so maybe not the best client for us?
We look at our sustainability also with our providers and also with customers. But with customers, this is what my job is, to offer them solutions to become more sustainable. So fast fashion, you just mentioned. I can either say, yeah, they have a problem, or I offer them, and we work on the second way. So if you go into the newspaper, we just signed 2 months back a MOU with one of the world's biggest fast fashion player in the area of sustainability, focused into Germany, and we're coming into a very close discussion with them of actually how do you support that. But at the end of the day, I can say something, or my customer can say, but the consumer is here. So if we give you an offer that for every package you want to order, you can do it sustainability or unsustainability, you have to decide. I follow my customers, which is in this room or outside this room, and we offer them solutions for that one. I cannot dictate what I should be they should be doing it, but we give you options, and that's how I would look at it.
So that's definitely a trend for the future. Are there others? Like what's your business gonna look like in 5 to 10 years?
I wouldn't be able to tell you in the next 3 months how the business will be, because it's changing so much. And as it is, air cargo and logistics is also close by. But the whole topic of people, talent, is going to be a big topic, I think so. The whole technology part is going to be a big topic. And we have to be very, very open. Again, we come to the people part. We have to start imagining what challenges or opportunities which would be there, which we can't even imagine sometimes.
Totally.
And that's very difficult at this moment of time. So being close to the ground, being close to your customers, being close, that's why one of the things is we have our teams everywhere, wherever we fly, because they are my early warning systems. They see what's happening in Vietnam. You were in Vietnam. What's happening in Vietnam? What's happening in Mexico? And we have to adapt accordingly.
And from these scouts, is there something you would say in the business that everybody is kind of underestimating or not seeing that it's coming, and you think it'll come?
Oh, if I knew, I would tell you it's coming. No, no.
Okay. When you yourself you fly, are you like for vacation? You still want to, because you're flying a lot, I guess, professional. So when you go on vacation, you're flying, or you're taking the train, or what's the?
We fly.
You fly. Okay. You're sitting at the window or the aisle. What's your preferred?
Aisle.
Why? Because you fast.
It's easy to walk out to the toilet or whatever.
Okay. And you're a planner for your vacation, or you?
Last minute.
Last minute. What was your last vacation?
Oh, my last vacation was London.
London.
We were in London in August.
Okay. For how long? Just
4 days.
4 days.
So we decided just to, we wanted to go for summer holidays, and it didn't work out. So we decided in a simple way. So me, my wife, my daughter and my son, each one of us had one vote, and we could decide on one city. Okay. And we did city hopping. So my wife said Vienna, so we went to Vienna. I said London, we went to London. My daughter said Paris. And my son said Tokyo. I said, he failed his geography. We said Europe. So we haven't gone to Tokyo.
So what was the final, the fourth then, or that was it?
Yeah, he lost his chance. He had his chance. And
okay, well, that's a fantastic story. Well, thank you very much, Ashwin. I would now open it up to you. So if you have questions, please.
Hello. Well, my question is analyzing a lot of data and based on this data to come to the right decision and lead the company sounds a lot like the work that AI could reasonably do very well. So, if this effect of the AI would come and apply to your work and what you're doing, what skills would you increase? What would you do? What would you learn to become irreplaceable on your place?
Uh, I'm irreplaceable. No, what is required? You know, you can analyze the data, and you can give it's this or that, whatever side. The important skill is decision making. You have to take the decision. Data is not going to tell you is going to be the right or wrong, because data is data. It's about the skill of taking a decision, the skill of understanding what is the risk for every decision, and that's a very important skill which is there. To take, it sounds easy. Let's take a decision. It's a big one. Whether you want to close a station, open a station, do a multi-million-dollar investment, yes, no, and then stand. If you want one big one, is stand in front of the team and give them the transparency of why you took that decision. That's a skill which AI will not do. My avatar is not going to do the way I would do it, explaining why I took a certain decision which could be completely against, or to take decision against what the data is saying, because sometimes the gut is telling you, let's go for it. And those are the skills which is required. So the human part is going to be required. A lot of things will be AI. Building relationship, AI is not going to do. I said it in another interview. His avatar and my avatar will not have the same relationship like what we have, and it will not be interesting for you. He brings his personality, I bring my personality with the way we talk, work works, and that's going to be the human part is going to be AI.
I have one more question with the irreplaceable, because in one interview you said leadership is about doing things that otherwise wouldn't happen.
Yes.
So in the end, if everything is working fine, then you're redundant.
No. I personally believe is a lot of things will happen operationally, but to talk about what is going to happen in 5 years, to talk about let's invest into culture, to talk about let's do it in leadership, or to do it differently, because that's going to be ready for. That's for me. Leadership is, if things would happen, why is leaders required? Is to do things which otherwise would not happen, and sometimes it is going to be controversial.
Good evening. So I wanted to know whether the very high taxes and fees paid to the government, for example, for landing rights and air traffic control in Germany, which are among the highest in Europe, I suppose, affect Lufthansa Cargo to the same extent as the passenger service? And is the overall level of expenditures lower for cargo aviation?
No, it's the same. For us, it's not a level playing field between Europe and the rest of the world. It's not just about. It's the same. For ATCs for a freighter in Germany, it's close to 1,200. If you go to other places, it's less than half of that one. But let's keep that cost and everything, which you have absolutely correctly stated. But it's also the regulations. We spoke about sustainability. The regulations which is there in Europe or in Germany, which we have to take care of, and what is being done in Turkey or in Middle East is completely different, and that's also cost. The whole compliance, and which are all important, but the hurdles which we have to follow, the things which we have to do, is much more than the rest of the world, and that's all cost, which we have to bear, which my competition doesn't need to.
May I ask another question? Yeah.
Sure.
Perfect. Because I have some of them prepared.
Perfect.
So I wanted to know, how does Lufthansa Cargo manage the logistics of its freighter operations to minimize the number of repositioning flights that don't generate revenue? And do your aircraft operate or on predefined scheduled routes between hubs that are communicated to customers in advance, allowing them to book available capacity accordingly? Or is there flexibility for short-term notice or ad hoc shipments? And finally, what is the average load factor per flight?
You have answered 4 questions in one question, so I count. I was a controller as well. First of all, average load factor is a very difficult question to answer, because we talk about belly freighters all over the world. But let me talk about the scheduler ad hoc. Lufthansa Cargo, USP, or the brand of Lufthansa Cargo, is known in the industry for 3 things: reliability, quality, and expertise of its people. So for me, reliability is the more important. So we work with scheduled flights. We announce our schedule 6 months or winter timetable and summer timetable, and we stick to it. Last year, during this time of the year, e-commerce was crazy. E-commerce was crazy. I could have moved my whole freighter into Asia, and I would have made a lot of money. But we didn't do that, because we have given a commitment to our customers about the schedule. So we were continuing to fly even though we could have made a lot of money. Our competition changed it according to that. But that's short term. I'm here for the long term. My relationship with my customer is for the long term, and we stuck to it. And that's what is appreciated, because this is a long term business relationship. And that's what, so we work with scheduled flights. And the first question was, do we have ghost flights, or what are you talking about? We cancel it. If the freighter doesn't make money, we have to stop it. We are not flying for our ego. We make here to make money. Passenger is a different story. We have to fly it, but we have passenger as well as cargo revenue, which is there. But cargo flights, if we don't make it, and then but that's 1 or 2 cancellation which is happening in between. But as much as possible, we make money. And you can see our results, which was released for the first 3 quarters last week.
Good evening. It's a pleasure. So my question would be, from your global perspective, what opportunity do you see in Mexico or Latin America that remains surprisingly untapped, especially now that the shifting trade routes and tariff dynamics are reshaping the global supply chain?
I'm personally very excited about Mexico and the region you just mentioned. We have even increased our capacity to Mexico, because we see a huge demand going into that part of the world. What are the untapped? I think we are tapping it. So we see demand, and we are flying over there. That's very clear. I mentioned it earlier. And with this trade which is happening, changing, shifting trades, South America, Latin America, Central America, I think is an exciting place for Lufthansa Cargo to be in, and that's what we will be investing into. We have our own company in Mexico for doing our handling. So we have our own handling company in Mexico, as well as because over there are 2 airports, MEX and NLU. So we have our own handling company, a subsidiary over there. So all positive, thumbs up.
Can I do one more question? Just adding to your answer, and how do you see nearshoring right now? Do you see it booming or shifting?
It's happening, but that's happening for the last years. So nearshoring is not happening into Germany. It's happening to Northern Africa. So I go there. It's happening in Eastern Europe, and that's why we also have not only 777, which flies intercontinental. We have A321 freighters. So we foresee that was going to happen. Speed is going to be of essence, and we invested into A321 freighters for short distance within Europe and reaches North Africa as well. And you clearly see that. Tunisia is becoming big for automotives, or Morocco and all those places, and that's what we see happening. But even if nearshoring happens, I don't think so. The whole supply chain, the whole global world which we have is going to change very fast. And that's my true belief.
Hi, good evening. So you spoke about AI and gamification changing the fate of the industry currently. What opportunities do you see in the next 5 to 10 years that the air cargo industry or the logistics industry is heading towards?
Ooh. In terms of AI or in terms of AI?
Anything about it. What opportunities do you see air cargo is heading towards the
Eh,
next 5 to 10 years?
I think air cargo is even going to get more and more important. The whole supply chain topic is going to get very, very an important part of the global world because it's so connected with each other in terms of. The other day I was talking to somebody from the aircraft, and they said each part goes 2 times across the world for every part that needs to be because of everything that is and I think we don't define what commodities are going to come and everything. Like we were discussing, we don't even know what jobs you will be working in 5 years' time because it's not yet created. So the same thing is the commodities which are going to come is, but the point is going to be all high end, which will be about digital, and that's where air cargo and logistics is required. Pharmaceutical, the world population is getting older, so pharmaceutical is going to be a big one. Electrical vehicles and so on. So that's the direction. But I think technology will play a bigger role to ask you, because today transparency of data is the game. When you go to Amazon or anything, you exactly know, or I jokingly say, when you order a pizza, you know exactly where it is, at what stage. In air cargo, you have zero idea when it is getting. So having technology to bring this transparency. Again, supply chain is about different parts. Technology will connect us to different parts of the business between each other, and those are the things which will help us getting better. So data in terms of transparency will be a big game changer.
Good evening. I wanted to know, in what ways does culture play an important role in shaping Lufthansa's cargo operations, customer relationships, and approach to sustainability in global air freight, and maybe as well as the culture, not only based on the actual culture, but within the workspace in the company?
For us, we are very proud, and we call culture as cargo spirits. So that's the name we have given to our culture of cargo spirit, and it is evolving. It's not about changing culture. There is something basic about your culture which needs to be evolved, and that's why welcoming other people is also evolving our culture. I think culture is very, very important part of who we are, about our identity. You mentioned about of customers, very, very important. How do I answer that? For me, it's about the values which, for us, you could say culture changes the behavior. What we say is the behavior is also going to change the way culture is. So that's why we forced or came up with this whole question of leadership behavior. Culture is a pull, it is not a push. So I cannot stand in front of my organization and say, tomorrow onwards, this is the culture. Everybody will say BS, nobody's listening. I have to walk the talk. I have to behave in a certain way. And if you think, or my team thinks, that's a behavior which we like, they will pull it to ourselves. And that's how I see culture. It's about the culture of between the three of us in the board. We decided about not. We spoke about our values. What are our virtues? Trust is an important aspect. Being adventurous. Adventure is one of our virtue which we have put together, and optimism is another, because that's what we all three are. And if we will behave in a certain way, using these virtues, that's the culture which will come into the organization. And it's up and down. And for us, culture is also respecting people, respecting the different religion, the cultures, people's culture which is there. So we celebrate Iftar, we celebrate Easter, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Chinese New Year. because we are a global organization, and that's how it is all about.
Does culture have any influence on the actual business? If it's not within, for example, customer relations, it's mostly in business. For example, with China, there are certain customs you have to kind of go with. And are there any other circumstances where culture is really important, working with another country with customers?
The way I would say is, without culture, Lufthansa Cargo will not survive.
Okay.
You have to have that culture in the company, because it's who we are. I can talk as much as I want, but if we don't believe in who we are and behave in a certain way, none of you will be working at Lufthansa Cargo. You wouldn't like, because that's what who we are as is the essence. It's not about posters, it's about living that. And the customers, staff, everybody can feel it immediately. I can put whatever poster I want, but if I don't live that culture, I don't give it out, you can smell it. You will not work with me for a single day. So culture is the base of what we do. And leadership plays a big role, because people don't leave companies, they leave bosses. And if the bosses don't live that culture, don't live the behavior which you talk about, so it's not about that I have to work in a certain way with the Indians and the Chinese, and it is, respect is an important one. So for me, culture is very, very, very important. Let's put it this way. That's one of my, as a CEO, there are a few things that the CEO works on. I don't work on a day-to-day basis. Culture, people is top of my list. Communicating, which you were asking about, is on top of my list. That's what I'm paid for most of the time.
Hi, good evening. My name is Abhishek. I have a question focused on the emissions. So compared to the sea freight, the air freight emissions are slightly higher, I would say, when we heard from a few of them from the other industry also. So my question is about how is Lufthansa, because you were talking about increasing the fleet for the businesses which are coming up. How is Lufthansa Cargo going to focus on emissions? And
we buy the latest aircraft, the new technology aircraft. 98% of emission is about aircraft. So we will invest into new type of technology and new type of aircraft, and that would be our big contribution, other than everything which I spoke about, SAF and plastic and solar panels and so on and so forth. That's what we will be, because 99% is all about in the air. So investing into new technology is the biggest thing in terms of aircraft, or not in terms of AI, but new type of aircraft. And that's what we are doing. Biggest investment that we can do, and we have done it. So we have a new fleet, 7.5 years of our freighters. That's what it is.
And my second question is related to that, with the given air traffic, and if, I mean, all the competition actually invests in a fleet of aircraft, right, from the Airbuses and Boeings, how is the air traffic going to be in the future? What do you think the path should be for the cargo business?
It's nothing about specific about the cargo business. That's what the big discussion is happening about ATC, and everything is also in general about airlines. We are just one part of the whole thing, and that's what it is. Nothing specific they have to do about cargo. It's the overall environment which we talk about in Europe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I heard you spoke about your background coming from global sourcing. So I actually want to know, what are the chances of this generation and the next generation to come in the age of AI, in terms of gaining experience like you?
I didn't get it. That Germany
Okay.
would.
No, not Germany. I mean, like, what are the chances for this generation and the next generation in the age of AI?
I think you'll have a bigger generation, bigger opportunity than the generation I have,
I mean,
because the globe is there is no borders for the business. I have a team sitting we spoke, Mexico. I have a team sitting in Bangalore. I have a team sitting in China. They are as good as my head office, but they are sitting in different parts of the world. Technology has made us so close, is that you have the same opportunities, which is there. If I understood your question, that is. So for me, it's clear, AI is not going to replace humans. It will help us to get better. It will help us to get efficient. But people to people will still continue. It's relationships will still be between people. My shareholders are people, my customers are people, my staff are people, not robots. So building relationship, having that kind of discussion and dialogue communication is going to be about people. AI will just make it efficient so that I can focus on building relationship. That's how it is going to be for my children as well. So the soft skill is going to be more important, taking decisions to find solutions. In our business, I call it's a phygital business, because our business is going to be physical and there is going to be technology. This magic is not about replacing the physical with the digital. The magic is how do you merge the physical with the digital. That's the magic which is going to happen, not replacing one with the other. And that for me is the true story. So you are going to have a future, don't worry.
Thank you. One more last question is, when do you feel that you have actually reached at the pinnacle, or you feel satisfied?
I'm not satisfied. For the simple reason, it's not about a job, it's about learning. I'm very frankly, I'm so excited about the world y'all are taking over, with all the challenges and the opportunities, with all the changes which is happening. It's phenomenal. If you have that entrepreneurship in you, you want to manage all the opportunities. Yes, there is going to be a lot of insecurity and frustration, and don't go with an attitude of just because I turn up to work, everybody should be thinking you're the greatest. No, it's also not going to be working if you are thinking of working from home 5 days a week, very openly. It's all about relationship. It's sitting, sometimes meeting each other in a coffee area, and suddenly you come to an idea because there is a problem, and you gossip and here's a solution. Those are the things which you need to think about. So for me, that's where it is. Talk about culture. How do you develop a culture where a new generation is coming to work, where a Brazilian comes to work and an Indian is working together? How do you create that culture in a German company in Frankfurt? That's where the fun is. How are we going to use autonomous vehicles and robotics and AI into our work? That's the fun part of it. So I'm not. I think job-wise, yes. Hierarchy-wise, yes, fantastic. But learning part is so exciting now.
Hi. Simply put, it sounds like you've already answered this, but where do you see the biggest need for people right now?
For the people, solving problems, building relationship, looking into the future and saying what could happen. It's not about what was, it will be what will be. And I always tell my team, think about in those terms. Otherwise, I can use AI. I know what was. Tell me what will be. And you are the people who are going to shape it. And that's the magic about the whole thing. That's the value of the people. And I wouldn't care if you're sitting in Bangalore or Mexico or Frankfurt or Hamburg. As long as you're bringing that to the table, you are valuable.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ashwin Bhat, for this interview, for your optimism, your encouraging way of describing the industry. I learned a lot, especially that definition or defining logistics as transporting happiness. I like that a lot. Thank you very much. I think you're going to get a lot of applications for internships. I think you made a very good case for you. And to you out there, thanks for listening to this edition of Doc and Talk. And if you liked this one, there is more Doc and Talks on the YouTube channel, so check it out.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.